see, the advantage of this is that, okay, sure, there's still going to be some people angry over what happened to them this past year and the last 8 years and the last 20 years with sanctions and embargoes. Well, we can deal with that. Detection, apprehension, and so forth. But the advantage of this approach of defense is that you're not killing new people over there that is fueling the ranks of people that are angry and rageful against us. And over time, the anger and rage diminishes. And then those who would devote their lives to violence can't get any recruits. Because that's what this interventionism and imperialism has done. It has become the greatest terrorist-producing machine in history. Number 3, the Constitution. Every conservative believes in the Constitution. Right now on the internet, there's something circulating called the Mount Vernon Statement. Yeah. And conservatives are going there in droves, sign up. And you know what it says? We believe in the Constitution and we stand by the Constitution. That's great. But you see, ever since 9/11, all we have seen is violations of the Constitution under the guise of this war on terrorism. And you got, 2 invasions of countries with no declaration of war by Congress. Now some people say that's just a technicality. It's not a technicality. It's the law. It's the law. Or they'll say something, well, no, when Congress authorizes the president to use force to go find the people that committed a terrorist attack, that's like a declaration of war. No, it isn't. It's the law. It's the law that we, the people, impose on them, and they're required to obey it, just like they require us to obey the laws that they put on us. Since 9/11, we've got the Patriot Act, which authorizes these people to issue warrants that would make even King George embarrassed. General warrants, secret warrants. You've got them making illegal secret deals with the telecoms and who knows who else, where they're violating the privacy rights that are encompassed, for example, by the 9th Amendment that conservatives believe in. You've got the suspension of habeas corpus, the linchpin of a free society. You've got the denigration of trial by jury, due process of law that goes all the way back to Magna Carta, which conservatives cite in their speeches and their articles. So you see, what you have here is a war on terrorism that is violating the thing that conservatives hold dear. The Constitution. Now some people say, oh, well, we can do both. We can have the war on terrorism, we can protect the Constitution. That's just nonsense. That's like saying, well, we can have lightning but no thunder. You don't need to worry about that. In fact, one of the things I find most fascinating is how some conservatives had supported this camp at Guantanamo from the very beginning. Because you see, the purpose, the specific purpose of putting this thing at Guantanamo was to avoid the Constitution. This was designed to be a Constitution-free zone. Now I ask you, how can you support and defend the Constitution when you're trying to figure out ways to avoid the Constitution? When you believe in principles, and we believe in these principles that were bequeathed to us through the Bill of Rights and the Constitution, then you want to see those principles applied universally. When you go into another country, you say, hey, these are good principles, and they should apply here too. And so that's why they have to make a choice. War on terrorism or the Constitution, which is more important. Now the 4th reason is the most important of all. And it encompasses the first 3 and much more. And that 4th reason is individual liberty. You see, James Madison put it best. Now, Madison's one of the founding fathers. Conservatives love the founding fathers. We know that. And he's the father of the Constitution. Here's what Madison says. of all the threats to liberty, the biggest one is war. You see? Because he points out that war encompasses all the rest of them. The out-of-control spending, the making the nation less safe, less secure, less free. And so you're putting it into an interesting position in this thing, conservatives are. Do you favor this enemy of liberty? Or do you favor what it's warring against, individual freedom? Because you see, this is what Randolph Bourne was saying, that war is the health of the state. This is where you get the centralization of power, the bureaucracies, the self-important militarists. You know, everything's like the Roman Empire. That, oh wow, the empire is in danger way thousands of miles away. And everything is centered around the glorification of the state. That's antithetical to the concept of individual liberty. And so we have to ask ourselves, what's your choice? Now, if you want empire, if you think this is all great, that this is the world's sole remaining empire, and you want to project militarism across the world, fine. But don't sit here and pretend with your mantra that you favor free enterprise, private property, and limited government, which is the favorite conservative mantra. But if you favor liberty, which of course is this concept of free enterprise, private property, and limited government, then you have no choice but to call for the dismantling of this enemy of liberty, this huge warfare state that has come into existence. Now, I would be unmindful if I did not mention that obviously this is not, the warfare state is not the only source of our problems in this country. There is the welfare state, you know, the welfarism that Roosevelt foisted upon us many decades ago. So you've got this double-barrel challenge here, that in order to achieve the free society, we have to dismantle not just the welfare state, but the warfare state as well. Free markets, natural harmonies between people, this morality. This is how we restore the values that conservatives have always held dear. By restoring a republic and a free market, we restore the idea of a free society, a prosperous society, and a naturally functioning society. Thank you very much.